Welcome, friends. I am C. Satish Panchal. Today, we will discuss how we can import multiple files from a folder using Power Query. Before we start our session, I would like to give you prerequisite which you keep in your mind while working with Power Query and importing multiple files from a folder. The first condition is all file must be in a same structure, same file structure. If you are importing text file, then there is no issue. But if you are importing Excel files, then sheet names should be equal and all fields should be as per the first file or sample file that you will learn in the session. What is sample file? The data structure should be as per the sample file. So friends, if you have not liked or subscribed my channel, please like and subscribe my channel. Let's start the session. Welcome to my channel Data Mantra. Now we start our session on Excel. So friends, before I start importing data into Excel, I would like to show you my source file. What my source file looks like. So these are the three files which I am going to consolidate using this Power Query. Let's have a look at these files. I am opening all these three files so that you can have a better idea what we are going to do. My all three files have this kind of structure where there is date, bill number, transaction remarks, quantity, and these are the amounts. Same way, these are the all three files are in same formats. We want a yearly number of each year, how much my sale was. So let's start our consolidation process. I'm closing these files. All three files are in same structure. These are actually copy of one file. I have just changed the date field. So to get started with data consolidations, we need to go on data tab and click on this get data. And as you know, we are importing data from a folder and it is not a specific files. Any files kept in that folder will be merged. So I am going to make this folder as source folder. Currently, this is my source folder. I am copying my path and giving it to the Power Query. Okay, so it is taking a little bit time. Now you can see at this screen that this is the source folder from where the file will be consolidated. It has fetched three files like sales 2020, 21 and 2019. Now at this point you have two options. Either you can just combine these files or you can just combine and transform data. Loading data directly without seeing what is coming in, it is not a good idea. So I always prefer to click on combine and transform data. So this will take us to the Power Query editing mode. Now at this side, as I was talking earlier, this is first file. First file means sample file will be considered as first file picked by Power Query. And in first file, it has found a sheet called sheet 1. So in this sheet 1, this first file is for 2020. You can see here that all data is coming correctly. So now you can click on OK. Let the query complete. Now at this stage, we have a preview of data in editing mode, and here you can see that one column is added by Power Query that is called source name. This is nothing but the name of file. So as we have a date column and our data is as per the dates, so we are going to remove this column as I don't require it. And as I told you that you can see each data type by going through these icons. This first column is a date data type. This is 1 to 3, it means it is a number data type. And if there is any discrepancy, you can just check it out here. In my case, every data point is correct. Now let us say I want all this data to be clubbed for the year. For this, I can do one thing. Either I can add a new column and extract the year, or I can just transform this column and make date as year. So just take a look at these tabs. You have a transform tab and a add column tabs. There are similar operations on both of these tabs, but the main difference is when you perform a function on this tab, a new column will be added. While if you perform same function at this tab, that function will be applied on the existing column which you have selected. So as now I am going to transform this column only, so I am just transforming this from this transform tab. So I am clicking on date, and at date you can just extract the year, just like click on date and then year. So here I got the year of that particular date. Now this is my, now I want to consolidate each data file to show the numbers of sale for that particular year. There is one option called group by. Now I am going to group these data using the year field. So first field will be year, and there is a aggregation functions, just like you can add or do different kind of aggregations on your data. So currently I am adding one aggregation on amount of quantity of goods sold. So the name of that field would be quantity, and the aggregation will be sum on the field of quantity. My second aggregation will be on transaction amount, and it would be my sales amount. Operation would be on sum function, and the field will be, let's say, net. Let's go ahead. Now as you can see, data of all these 3 years is fetched and a summary is given. Now my process is completed and I can just load it. As you can see, data of all 3 years is consolidated and my summary is prepared by PowerPoint. Now let's see what happens if the source data is changed a little. Let's make some changes. Now as you can see, now you nothing have to do. Now suppose you want to refresh the data and you have changed your source files, you just have to go on data and just click on refresh and your data will get refreshed. Let's say I have deleted these two rows and I am just refreshing this data. Data will be changed. Let's say I move, this is my source file, and let's say I just remove one of the files out of it, and let's see what happened now. Let me refresh. Now as you can see, only 2 years are appearing here because I have removed one file from the source. Let's say I just put it again. I'm putting it again in the source file, and let's see what happened now. Data is fetched again. Now let's make some changes in our source file. Let us open our 2019, and I am making a little change in the sheet name. I just changed sheet 1 to and saved it. Now let's see what in our error. Now you cannot refresh the query because the source data is not in the same format as the sample. What to do? Is there any workaround? See, this is the simplest method of importing data from a folder into Excel. Now we want to make sure that if data is coming, it may have different sheet names because it is coming from different people. Different person can have different names of sheets. We cannot control that. These are three files. There may be 300 files. How will you rename also? What to do? I will show you in my next video how to handle these kind of errors in our Power Query. Let's see. Okay, how to import the source file using combine and transform method. Now we are using a different method of importing multiple files into Excel. Let's start with the same process. I'm going to get data from files and from folder. My folder is same as earlier, and these are the same steps. Now I will, instead of clicking on combine button or load button, we will use this transform data and we will merge the files later on. Let's see. I have clicked on transform data and this data is here in my Power Query edit mode. And let's expand this Power Query. As you can see, it has a column called content and it has some binary files. These binary files are all the Excel files that are kept in that source folder. Now, because the all data is lying in this column only, we don't require these columns. So I just can remove all other columns from this data. Let me remove these all other columns. Now we have only data in binary forms. To get the data from a binary, we can use the custom function under add column. So I am taking leverage of this custom function. These binary files can be opened using Excel open files. So I am taking this a custom function, and you can name it as per your convenient. This is the name of that new column which will be added using this function. And now I am adding the new function, Excel workbook. This is the function which take a binary. See, you can give the input as binary to this Excel workbook function. So I am inserting this content column and closing the bracket. You can see it the function Excel workbook take input as binary files. So I am clicking on OK. A new column is added by this function called data, and it has a table in it. You can see the contents of these tables. Now as we have data in table format, so this column is irrelevant for us and we can just remove it. Now we need to get data from these tables. If you will click on the blank space of this tables, this cell, you can see the content of that table in this nested table. So we need to get data from this data column in this nested table. So to get it, I will expand it. And to expand, I will remove this tick mark. It will just unnecessarily add data name, column name into the expanded columns. So I am clicking on expand columns. Now you can see that there are all the columns are imported, expanded here. Now in this data column, because there was already a data field available, so it is data point 1, and now you can see that all my data is lying under this table, and now I have my full control how and what data I need to import. As you can see, these are the seat names. If you want to import specific seat name, you can filter out here. Just like we have changed that seat name to seat 2, now it is coming as seat 2, but the data content is under this field. So here is another column which is showing what kind of data type it has. So in my Excel files only Excel sheets are there, so it is showing sheets. If there are tables in those Excel sheets, those would have appeared here as table, and you can make a choice if you want to import data from a sheet or a particular table. So in my case, I am just filtering it out as equal to sheet. Means my data should come from a sheet, not from a table. Fine. Now let's see what happens. At this point of time, we can see that headers are appearing different, and my actual header are appearing as row. If we import this data at this point of time, we may get one extra line for header in our row, and our actual header will appear as column 1 2 3, kind of which is not a good thing. So So to eliminate this thing, we will further expand our query, and as we need only this column, so we will remove all other columns, and we will add another custom column, and at this point we will remove the we will add the headers in our data, and I am giving this column a new name which is more familiar, more informative, like with headers. And the function will be table.promote headers, and it's take a table as input, and we can just close our bracket. Let's see what happens next. There is one more column added, and now you can see that all our headers are in proper format. Now we can also we can remove this column also, as it will take extra space, and our final file is ready here, and we can now expand these files in the same manner. If you want to exclude any columns, you can just untick it. I'm taking all columns in my table, and I have kept it as unchecked because I don't want to add field name as header. So this is my data, and I am just performing the same operation what I have performed earlier in that other method. I am changing the date to a year. So to do that, I am extracting year, and I am doing a little bit fast so that the video should not be longer one. And I am grouping the same way as I did earlier. Basic date, yes, right, and good quantity, and the aggression is sum on the field of quantity, and I will add one more aggression. It sales amount. Aggression will be on net amount. See friends, the output is same as we did earlier, but in this method we can do many automations. We need not to worry about what is the seat name of my source data. Is there any discrepancy in that format? And it will work seamlessly. Just I will show you, just like I will change my source data, just like we did earlier. I am changing one file name, and the sheet name is changed to, let's say, data 2000. You see here it is 20. I have changed the sheet name, and I will refresh my table. I'm going to refresh it. See, you can see, though we have changed the sheet name, but still data is imported. Okay, friends, I hope you like my video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please like and subscribe and share it with your friends. And please comment what kind of videos you want from my sites. Thank you, friends.